It's the best day ever because I finally found a makeup routine that's amazing. Yeah. Hello. Good morning. How are you? Today is really fun. Okay, you want to know why? Oh, this makeup look. Have I captured your attention? This is in fact my gold standard everyday amazing wonderful beautiful makeup routine that takes about 15 minutes. I've got one look and that's it. But it's a good one. They're like a beautiful Mona Lisa masterpiece. Okay, that's enough yapping. Let's get into the makeup routine. Woohoo! Almost didn't see you there. Welcome. Good morning. Let's get ready. I've got my green sludge looking water. Daily greens, trying to get them in before I have coffee. They're not very good. They're not very good, but that's okay. I feel like I have finally perfected my makeup routine. Okay, I'm the type of girl, I don't like to change things up too much. Just because, like, if I find something that works for me, I'm very much like, don't change a broken horse. What is the saying? Don't change if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Yeah, insert the actual quote here. I'm not sure what it is. But, ooh, let's get into it. The little clippies. There. The blank canvas is ready. Like one of the biggest things that I'm like, I feel so dumb for not thinking about adding this step into my routine sooner, but put some moisturizer on your face first. I'm like, am I the only one who didn't think? I'm like, oh, skincare is just for at night. So it's like, I'm trying to get in the habit of using it in the morning as well. And I feel like I notice such a difference in my makeup when I do moisturizer first and then layer everything else on. So let's start with that. I did just get a restock on this item. I've had this lotion before and I really like it. Mostly because you can almost use like as much as you want and watch, you'll see. It like sinks right into the skin. So it's like I don't have to take 10,000 years to blend it in. Like, it's gone. It's literally gone. I still have so much on my face to like blend in, but I love that. It doesn't like smear white cast everywhere. There. I don't know what I'm trying to show you. It's clear. You can't see it. I'm like, do I look more radiant? Do I look like I have more confidence than I did right before I applied the confidence cream? And if you're anything like me, then you're probably a girl who likes a little radiance. This is another step in my routine that I never did before, but since I've started, I can't stop. I'm actually almost out of it. I'm so sad. But this is the Juvia's Place. It's almost just like a radiance booster. That might be what it's called. I'll put it up on the screen. It is a little dark for me, but honestly, you're just kind of using it to even out your base underneath before you put on foundation. So it doesn't necessarily matter all that much if it's not the right color. It used to be. Can you believe it? When I was in my tan goddess era, I am no longer. I am so pale. I don't like to put any on my forehead though because I have very expressive forehead lines. No Botox or anything for me. I'm like, I want to see that I've been smiling my whole life. But that just means I want to do like less layers of makeup on my forehead so it doesn't like accentuate those lines even more. You know what I'm saying? The boat of brushes. These are my old brushes. I've been trying out these new ones from Morphe and I am so impressed. It's like their new line of, affordable brushes. These are the ones I've actually tried out before, but when I tell you there's so many, there are so many. So many brushes. As you can see, I have not opened these yet just because I'm like, I want to try them more so like with you so we can get like first reactions, but there's so many. I'm like, this is going to take me 4 4 years to try out all of these brushes properly. Here, this one's open. Let's try this one to blend this in. This is a foundation and body brush, which I thought is cool. But I'm just gonna kind of lightly blend into the skin. See, and even though it's not like my correct shade, I feel like, see, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, it kind of just blends right in. And now we have an even more even canvas for the rest of our makeup. Man, this brush is so soft. Ooh. You can't feel it, but it's soft, okay? Okay, next up is where I become a little scientist. So, this is so silly. I swear this happens. I watch one video on TikTok about one particular topic and it just like connects so many little dots. I watched this TikTok video. It's called like the One Pan Project. I believe it's all about like underconsumption and like using actually what you have. So all of that to say, I've had this foundation that I love. It's It Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the matte version. I also have the more like dewy version. So as you can see, this is like, she's gone. She's a goner. A few drops left. But this one is too light for me. And so I was like, I didn't use it for the longest time. And then it's like I watched that One Pan video and I was like, wait a minute. Like if I use this in my last few drops of the one that's now too dark for me and mix it together, like maybe actually I could use this up. And it's like, duh, Kalianna. That's like such a simple concept. But I'm like, wow, my mind is blown. I was like, I would have never, I don't know. I'm like, is that stupid? I would have never thought about that. And then I saw that video and I was like, how can I use up these products that are just sitting around? And I was like, oh, I'm just going to become a master chemist. So I just do one squirt of this, one squirt of the other one. Can you tell I love squirts? But one squirt, oh my gosh, one squirt. That feels like a made-up word now. I've said it too many times. And you're gonna mix them together. The other good thing about this is where this one, the lighter one is matte and this one is more dewy. It's like you can control a little bit better if you would rather have it more dewy or more matte. But we're just gonna, ooh, look at this. See? Girls in science. Girls in STEM. Right here. I'm like, and see, that color's not too bad. I also just use my little eyebrow brush to mix them up because that's what I have. Here is where the good stuff comes in. It all started with this foundation brush. It's the where is it? Hello. Maybe it won't focus. It's the M104 foundation brush. It looks like this. It's a little bit more like a kabuki, I think. Don't quote me on that. Where it's like a little shorter and denser than this one. This is the other foundation brush. You can see this one's a lot taller and this is for like painting it on because I'm going to show you. Usually I'd use this brush. Don't judge me, okay? I'm pretty sure it has mold in it, but this is definitely old and moldy. Oldie and moldy. I used to use this. I feel like it sucks up so much foundation though that ever since switching to this brush, I'm like, I feel like my foundation is going to last so much longer. So anyways, I go in like ever so slightly. Like I didn't really get that much on the brush. And watch this magic happen. Like, let me get that out of here. Like I start wherever I want the most coverage and then just kind of boop, boop, boop. Blend it out. But do you see that? It's like there's no brush lines. It's like I'm literally just like painting on the most beautiful radiant canvas I've ever seen. AKA me. But I'm like, look at that. Like my sponge could never. Lucked out too because this was the first brush that I tried from all of the new ones and I was like, wow. If they're all as good as this one, like sign me up. I think these brushes range also from, I believe, $6 to $18. So like very reasonable, especially for brushes. These are brushes I've had since high school. High school. That was what? Like has it been a decade? Oh my gosh, I can't confirm or deny that, but I've had these for so long, so I'm like, I'm trying to kind of filter them out for these new ones. I like to use the excess just like right above my eyes where I'm going to have eyeshadow. It gives it like a little bit of a base to grab onto and just kind of evens out the color of your eyelids. I don't want to waste it. Sometimes I'll just find more random spots to be like, sure, we'll double it up there. Mixing those two, like the dewy and the matte together, gives me such like a perfect in-between kind of finish. And I feel like the color match is pretty darn good for being too dark and then too light. And then it's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You put them together and it's just right. And now I'm gonna be able to actually use this up. That makes me so happy. Like, I love using products that I have. What a crazy concept, but like, I love it. I know I have a new concealer brush in here that I want to give a try. Concealer corrector? Okay, sure. Forgot, I'm supposed to be drinking this water. This old Greg water. Okay. It's actually not that bad. It's just like thinking about how it looks. And it is a little sandy. It's like, okay. This is honestly not my favorite because it's not like super full coverage, but it does the trick enough that I'm gonna finish out using it before I buy another one. Hence the Project One pan. I'm like, this is the one concealer in my make-believe imaginary pan. So my actual routine is I would just go like this. And I'm like, I feel like I add more with this concealer just because it is so light coverage. Try the brush, okay. I feel like it's okay. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I'm gonna reapply with my sponge and see if that does the trick. Again, I usually would not layer concealers, but with this one particularly, I feel like I have to. I don't know why why am I staring you down? That was a little bit better. That was a little bit more. Can you see the difference there? Like, it's just a little bit of concealer, enough to like brighten it up. I like to put the extra on my nose and right here on my chin. Oh, okay. Actually, I feel like that went on a little bit better. When you do it on your hand first, any excess, I like to find a spot for it. Mostly so I don't have to get up and wipe extra stuff off my hand, because for some reason that sounds terrible to me. Right on your eyelids, it'll help hold your eyeshadow there. Especially because I wear a lot of glitter eyeshadow, I find that that really helps. Can you tell a difference? I'm like, I can't look at you and look at myself at the same time. You tell me. This is the brush side. This is the sponge side. Does it look exactly the same or does it look different? To apply cream blush and powder blush, mostly because I just have so much blush, I gotta double it up. If I ever want to use all of this blush in my lifetime, like, they're all so beautiful. So now I'm like, oh, if I can do a cream and a powder, I can actually use these up. 2 of the blush brushes made it to the infamous cowboy boot, I guess. This is what I was using before. This big old Sonia Keshik brush. So big. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, I would end up with blush, like this entire section would just all be blush. I had these 2 brushes. Specifically, the M204, this is for cream and the liquid blush. Then the powder one is the M203 for powder blush. This is what the top looks like. So much smaller. Like, look at the size of that. The difference. I'm like, no wonder. I look like a clown. I had blush on half of my face. This is how I like to layer up my blush so it lasts all day long. Any kind of cream blush that you have from Half Caked in the shade is Club Paradise. I really like it. I didn't think I would at first. To use the side of the brush versus like here, more like side, and I just dab, dab, dab. And it's like you still get the pigment, but then it's like up to you how you want to like blend it and fuse it out. My golden standard makeup routine includes a little nose boop. Just a little, something about it. I like a little red there. It looks like it's a little cold outside and I just came in and I'm like warming up. Side with the blush, obviously, and without. I feel like it makes such a difference in my face. Like, my face shape definitely comes out a lot more when I have blush on. I'm like, look how good I look with blush on. Like, what was I thinking? So if you live in a humid climate like me, and it's terrible for makeup in between when you're doing like cream and then powders and like whatnot, spray your face with any setting spray in between. This is personally not actually my favorite one, but it's what I have, and I'm using up what I have before I buy a new one. There. I like to go into the mist. Our base is coming along. Actually, our base is pretty much done. We can powder now. We can apply the puff of the powder. Sadly, I know this powder is discontinued. It's the Jaclyn Hill Brighten Up Luminous powder. This is just what I use because I got it on sale at TJ Maxx. So you can't sadly get this one, but pretty much any setting powder that's kind of like luminous, if it has like luminous in the name, like maybe the Laura Mercier luminous setting powder. I feel like that's one that a lot of people like too. That was probably similar. And this is my other favorite brush. Oh my gosh, I used it and I was like, you're telling me this whole time life could have been so simple had I just had the correct brush. I'm like, I've just been using the wrong brushes for 10 years. So let me introduce you to the M164 powder brush. Tap off a little of the excess, but I like to leave a little bit on and then just make the face like this and tap, tap, tap. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. It's like a rabbit tail applying my makeup. So I like to concentrate it right there and then on the outer part, just because that's where I smile. I smile too big. The excess I put on the side of my nose and then right here. My face is itchy. We'll go in with some powder blush. This is from Kaja, the shade Aurora 01, and it's a bouncy blendable blush. Bouncy blendable blush. Say that 3 times fast. I do love the packaging. It's super cute and pink. The tiniest bit of shimmer. The M203 powder blush brush. Jeez. Everything is so hard to say today. And I'm just gonna focus it mostly right here. And, a little on the nose. A little boop of the nose. Slay. Gorgeous. Ah! Bam. Thank you. Thank you. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, eyebrows. I'm gonna use the Super Lock Brow Glue from Maybelline. I do like this one. I will say I like the L'Oreal one in the silver tube better because I feel like this one does leave a little bit of residue on my eyebrows sometimes. Maybe it's just because they're so, like, they're dark brown that you can see it more. But I do feel like it holds them very well. To organize them, give them a nice wolfy shape. See the difference there? I'm like, it looks so much more organized. And then this side sometimes makes me look like that. I'm like, I want to look like that. If you ever do get too much eyebrow gel or residue on your eyebrows, I just like these little spoolie things to brush out some of the product. Woohoo! This packaging is so cute. It's from Kimchi and Taylor Get Glow. Is it supposed to read like Taylor Get Glow? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. I just bought it because of the packaging. Try with this just because I have it here. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be okay. Like, is that even strong? Can you see it? A little on the nose. You sensing a theme here with this nose? I'm like, the nose gets everything. The nose gets everything that everything else on my face is getting. And a little on my chin, because why not? Highlight, complete. Oh, hello. What do you think? Here's the base. We've got our powders and we're gonna spray again before I do the eyeshadow. Same spray. Perfect. I wish you could smell it. My favorite part ever. We'll need this. We will need a little glitter. This one. I'm calling it my signature eyeshadow look. The only color I need in this entire palette, I guess two, is this light pink right here and then this slightly darker pink. So even if you don't have this palette, all you need to achieve this look is a really pretty, like a light pink tone. If I'm traveling, did I say traveling? If I'm traveling, I actually will just use whatever blush I'm using at the time as eyeshadow as well. So even if you have something like this, a blush, like there's no excuse. It is an eye blender M332. Hello. So you remember we already kind of prepped the eyelids by using the excess foundation and concealer. So those should be good to go. If you happen to get any lines, like that line right there, sometimes the foundation or concealer will settle into that. So before I start, I'll just go in with like a brush with nothing on it and kind of just like blend that out. I'm gonna start with the lightest pink color. We're just gonna tap, 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 tap. This is just gonna be like our blending shade. So it doesn't even need to be, it actually shouldn't be very pigmented and like solid. It's like you're just trying to get like a nice light layer on the eyelid, and that'll make everything else stick better and blend better. Oh, I look like a potato or something at this angle. And I'm gonna switch to the slightly darker pink right here. And this, I'm just gonna focus on the outer part of my eyelid. Working it in slightly to the other pink that we already laid down. Go in with glitter anyways, so I just like put this down, add the glitter, and come back and like touch up as needed. Now for, well, we'll still need this again, but now for glitter. This is hands down my favorite glitter eyeshadow palette I have ever had. It's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Cosmos palette. So, it's so beautiful. Specifically, I love this color, this one, and this blue over here. I don't use these two as much, again, because they're more like warm tones in my opinion, but I still like them. But those are like my top three. Okay, well, this brush, the M332, has officially made it to the boot of wonder. I don't really like using a brush with these glitters. I find that it's a lot more pigmented, at least in my opinion, with just your finger. So I'm gonna go into this shade right here, Quasar. And then smooth that sucker on. End up doing like a few different layers just so I like really build up. I'm like, if I'm putting on glitter, I'm putting on some darn glitter. I want to see it from 3 bus stops away. If you so choose to use a brush, make sure, grab your setting spray and actually spray onto your brush, and that will help you grab the glitter without so much fallout. It also, I feel like, makes it more pigmented somehow, like the combining of that with the setting spray. But what do you think? Ooh. And now would be the time, if you so choose, if you do want to touch up some of that paint. I love applying things. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. We gotta spray another time after your eyeshadow. Like, in my philosophy, the more times you spray, like, the longer your makeup is gonna last. We're almost done. Okay, one of my other favorite parts, mascara. I need these too. And a little lipstick. So many products in here that I'm like, I don't want anything else but you. This mascara, $3.99? It's either $2.99 or $3.99. I get a pack of 3 of them from Amazon for $10. It's the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect. It's so good, guys. I am such a mascara person. When I was in high school, I would spend so much money. Like, I was buying all the designer mascaras. I had no money. Like, I had no right to be buying a $30 tube of mascara. And then I find this, like, 10 years later, and I'm like, ugh! I could have bought so many things with my mascara budget. It's fine. We learn and we grow, and here we are now. My dentist, I went to my dentist the other day and I was wearing this mascara and she's like looking down at me and she's like, oh my gosh, like what falsies do you have on? Like they look so good. And I was like, girl, falsies? It's Essence. It's $3 mascara. And she wrote it down so she could go buy it after work. And I was like, wow, I feel like I'm doing really great things for the world. One mascara tube at a time. Damn, look at those. First coat. Do you see the difference? I'm like, I don't know how to show you mascara in a beautiful way. I feel like that's not beautiful, but do you see how long they are? I can do it all over 15 minutes. No. Take a couple dollars, turn them into millions. Wait, can I zoom in? Push joystick to control zoom. Oh my, you're telling me this whole time I've been able to zoom on this camera. Oh my gosh, what the heck? Okay, good. Well now, good. You can see me closer. Get a better look at me. At the end of the video, I discover I can zoom in. For a makeup tutorial, wouldn't that have been so helpful? See? Look at me. I personally just like a drier formula or an older, literal dried. This is so old. An old dry mascara is what I need. So that way I don't get like more dots under my eyes. And I'm like, I don't want them to be too crazy and defined. I just want you to be able to tell that I do, in fact, have lashes under here. Last step. Lipstick. Our lippies, and we're done. If you've ever seen me wear a lip color, chances are it's this one. It is the Maybelline Super Stay Liquid Lipstick in the shade De-Stressor. I love it. I've bought probably 14 tubes of this in my life. I always keep it stocked. Look how pretty that color is. The top. There. Perfect. And by golly, I think we are ready. Okay, let me bring you out to the light so you can see the final makeup look. Oh my gosh, it's such a nice day. Open these windows, guys, and the discos are going. Apply a tiny bit more lip products. This is the YSL Candy Glaze. I just got this. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, it literally does smell like candy. I just like to, the tiniest bit, I like to keep most of my lips matte, but just in the center, I like to get a little something. Okay, now we're done. Well, here it is in the light. You can see it a little bit better. Definitely pretty like glowy, but not like dripping with dew. And I feel like I just look good, so there's that. But anyways, okay, keep me posted if you like this video, if you found it interesting, if you learned any fun facts, any fun little tips that you've never heard before in your life. And I will see you next time. XOXO Kalianna out.